Now, days after devastating floods hit the North African country of Libya, country's Red Crescent on Thursday confirmed that the death toll in Libya's coastal city of Derna has soared to at least 11,300.
شوف طبعا الدعم الإغاثي اللي جاء عن طريق الهيئة العامة للإغاثة، وطبعا كان يعني أول شحنات غذائية كان من القوات المسلحة عن طريق دعم لوجستي غذائي، عرفت بالكامل، إنارة والأشياء هذينا. وبعدين بدأنا معنا إيش بعض المنظمات، والأعداد حاليا في تزايد من ناحية عدد الموتى، من ناحية عدد المفقودين.
The Secretary General of Red Crescent further added that at least 10,100 residents are reported missing in the worst affected Derna. However, local health authorities previously estimated the death toll in the city to be around at 5,500. Number of residents from the same family were swept away on Sunday night, and since the confirmed death tolls given by officials have varied, Derna's mayor said deaths in the city could have already reached in between 18,000 to 20,000 based on the extent of the damage.
على حسن عبد الصالحي وعلي نادي علي بن نساوي وشعطمة جمال عبد الوهاب بن نساوي ورحمة جمال عبد الوهاب بن نساوي الأربعة ولد عمي ولد أخوي.
While speaking to the news agency Reuters, the mayor further added that he was afraid the city would now be infected with an epidemic due to the large number of bodies under the rubble and in the water. The World Meteorological Organization said the huge loss of life could have been avoided if Libya had a functioning weather agency in place.
Yes, so that's a conclusion, that if there would have been a normally operating meteorological service, they could have issued the warnings, and also the emergency management authorities would have been able to carry out evacuation of the people, and we could have avoided most of the human casualties. Of course, we cannot fully avoid economic losses, but we could have also minimized those losses by having proper services in place.
The agency also added that it had issued warnings 72 hours before the dams collapsed, including contacting the Libyan authorities and making statements to the media. One day before the storm hit Libya, the mayor said at a news conference that some areas surrounding the dam should be evacuated, but an emergency committee formed by the Eastern government's Interior Ministry ordered curfews instead. Now, the chief of the Presidential Council of Libya took to the social network platform X, formerly known as Twitter, that the country's public prosecutor would open an investigation into any possible negligence that contributed to the disaster. The council added that those whose actions or failure to act were responsible for the dam collapse should be held accountable. Now, along with anyone who held up aid. According to the International Organization for Migration, around 30,000 people from Derna are displaced. Satellite imagery has shown the sheer scale of the destruction wrought by the floods. A government official estimated on Wednesday that at least 25% of the city was completely destroyed or was washed away. Rescue teams from neighboring Egypt and Tunisia have arrived alongside crews from Turkey, Italy and elsewhere. But their efforts have been hampered by destroyed roads and by the interruption of power and communication in the city.
هذا نعطي كيس 100 عائله ان شاء الله مشيت لهم الشغل هذا 100 نفر معلش يمشي لهم الدبش هذا ان شاء الله وقاعدين نوزعوا تساتفوا فيه بالترتيب. هي اسرع 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 شباب. والله اللي يقدر على اي حاجه مش حنقول عليها لا، اهم حاجه نصبوا مع اخوتنا من شرق ليبيا كلها. ان شاء الله ربي يعيننا ان شاء الله يا رب.
The startling death and devastation wreaked by the Mediterranean storm Daniel not only pointed to the storm's intensity, but also to the vulnerability of a nation that has been torn apart by chaos for more than a decade. Libya remains divided between two rival administrations, one in the east and one in the west, each backed by militias and foreign governments. And because of the conflict, the oil-rich country is now crumbling and suffering extensively due to the weathering infrastructure.